All right, let's just dive right in. We are standing right on the edge of this massive AI revolution, right? One that could, frankly, make a lot of human jobs, well, obsolete. So it begs the question, what are we worth when a machine can do literally everything better than us? Well, today, we're going to dig into a pretty radical blueprint for a new economy that thinks it has an answer.
And the whole idea, the entire concept, is really built on this one single powerful sentence from the Anthropos white paper. When intelligence is infinite, value collapses. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It really hits you, doesn't it? If an AI can just create and create and create endlessly, what happens to the value of, well, anything?
And yeah, that brings the question right back home, to us, to you. What are you worth? I mean, this isn't just some abstract economic theory we're talking about here. It's a deeply personal question about our own value, our own purpose, in a world that is just changing at a dizzying speed.
Okay, so to really understand the solution they're proposing, we first have to get a solid grasp of the problem they're trying to solve. And the authors of the white paper, they call it the AI value crisis, or, my personal favorite, the problem of infinite abundance. So here's the fundamental issue, right? Our entire economy, for literally centuries, has been built on one simple idea: scarcity. Things have value because they're limited. Your time, natural resources, a specific skill, it's all scarce. But generative AI, it just flips that whole script on its head. It can churn out digital stuff, art, music, code, you name it, infinitely, and for basically zero cost.
And this really illustrates the impact perfectly. I mean, just think about it. We're talking about a world that is just flooded with AI-generated art and music and code, even entire novels. In that world, how do you put a value on something a human made? And maybe more importantly, how do you even know a human made it? All of a sudden, the very foundations of value and even trust, they start to evaporate.
Okay, so that's the scary part, right? But this is where the blueprint proposes something, well, truly radical. A complete shift in how we even think about value. The core idea is this: we need to stop valuing what we make and start valuing who we are.
And this comparison just hits the nail on the head. In the old world, the crypto world, you have proof of work, right? That's just a bunch of computers solving math puzzles to create value. But on the other side, you have this new idea, proof of human presence. Here, value comes from something completely different: genuine human connection. So just think about that. The new currency isn't some digital coin mined by a server farm. It's the time you spend mentoring a student. It's a totally different universe of value.
And so here we have the formal definition, proof of human presence, or POHP as they call it. It's a new way to agree on things, a consensus mechanism. But what's its job? Its whole purpose is to log, validate, and reward verified, in-person, human-to-human interactions. The idea is to build a system that can prove without a doubt that you are a real person physically there with another real person. That becomes the new gold standard, the new bedrock of economic value. So the big question is, how does this actually work in practice? Well, they call it the handshake protocol, and it's actually pretty straightforward when you break it down into these 3 steps. First, you have a proximity check. Your phone, my phone, they use Bluetooth or something similar to prove they're right next to each other, like within a couple of meters. Second, the liveness check. You do a quick biometric scan, like Face ID, that proves a living, breathing human is actually holding the phone. And third, and this is the clever part, swarm witnessing. Other little devices nearby in the network all validate the interaction, kind of like digital witnesses, which makes it incredibly hard to cheat the system. So you're probably wondering, how does this handshake actually get verified? Who are these witnesses? Well, it's not happening in some giant power-hungry data center somewhere. The whole system is designed to run on a totally decentralized network of everyday devices, which they call the swarm.
And this table gives us a really clear look at the architecture. You've got 3 main parts. First, the swarm nodes. These are the validators, the witnesses, and we're talking about tiny, low-power things like a Raspberry Pi. Then you've got bridge nodes. That's just a fancy name for our smartphones and tablets. They're the user interface and where we do the biometric scan. And finally, you have beacon nodes, which handle all the decentralized storage, kind of like a community-run cloud.
And the really crucial takeaway here is just how accessible this all is. This isn't some sci-fi system that needs crazy expensive specialized gear. No, it's designed to run on cheap, common hardware that a lot of us already have or can easily get. And it all talks to each other locally using Bluetooth, so you don't even need a constant super fast internet connection. It's built for the real world.
All right, so we get the technical backbone, the swarm of devices. But this next part, This is where the whole design gets really, really creative. See, the economy they've designed isn't just about earning some boring old currency. It's structured like a game of life to actually encourage us to be more well-rounded human beings.
And it all starts with this one central unit. The entire economy is indexed to this single thing called Hume. Now, crucially, it's not a coin you can just buy and sell. It's better to think of it like the S&P 500 for the health of the entire human network. It's the benchmark that everything else is measured against.
So, how do you actually earn real value in the system? Through these 7 sector tokens. Every single time you have one of those verified in-person interactions, whether it's teaching someone something, caring for a neighbor, performing art, whatever it is, you earn tokens in that specific category. And this is such a huge departure from our current economy, which, let's be honest, often totally ignores the value of these incredibly important human activities.
And this is exactly where that game aspect I mentioned comes into play. It's called the ascension mechanism. Basically, if you want to gain real power, real governance rights in this network, you can't just be a one-trick pony. You can't just hoard a ton of, say, tech tokens. No, you have to prove you have experience across the board. It's literally like a set collection game. The goal is to get a token from every single slice of that pie.
Now, at the very top of this whole pyramid, you've got these 4 pillar tokens. These are what give you the real power to help govern the network. But here is the absolute kicker. They're soul-bound. And that's a really cool concept. It means they are permanently attached to your digital identity. You cannot buy them, you can't sell them, you can't trade them. The only way to get one is to earn it, by proving you're actually contributing to the health of the network.
And this all leads to the system's ultimate goal for its participants, to become what they call a Renaissance human. How do you do that? Well, to mint one of those super powerful pillar tokens, you have to collect and then burn or spend a full set of all 7 of the sector tokens. And the reason for this is frankly brilliant. It's designed to prevent the network from being run by just a handful of tech specialists or, crypto billionaires. It's a built-in mechanism to make sure the people in charge are those who have proven they have broad, well-rounded, holistic life experience.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out a little from all of the tokens and the nodes and look at the really big, grand vision behind this entire blueprint. What it's really all about is finding a way to value what the white paper beautifully calls the analog soul. And this isn't just some far-off pipe dream. The creators have actually laid out a pretty clear roadmap. They're starting with a digital twin, a simulation to stress test the whole economy. Then comes the hardware, the physical prototypes. And then the goal is the Genesis Swarm, the actual launch of the main network. This is a very serious attempt to build a whole new economic reality.
And this final quote, man, it just brings everything full circle. After all the technical jargon about nodes and swarm witnessing and tokens, the core philosophy is actually incredibly simple. The future of value is not in what machines can create, but in what humans can experience together. In an age where machines can make anything, the only thing that's truly scarce and therefore truly valuable is our shared human experience.
And that really leaves us with a final, massive question to chew on, doesn't it? As we rocket forward into this AI-driven future, what do we, as a society, choose to value? Is it going to be the things we can create, things that machines will soon master anyway? Or is it the simple, messy, beautiful, and totally irreplaceable act of just being human together?